Hello, welcome, or welcome back if you happen to watch any of my other videos before this video. Today, I don't know, I guess I thought I'd talk about how I use my sketchbook, what I use it for, because it strikes me and has struck me many times that people, I don't know, like people use their sketchbook in a lot of different ways. Even though you'd think that, I mean, it's a sketchbook, you know, you sketch in it, you put ideas in it, whatever. That looks different for a lot of different people. You know, I see people's sketchbooks and they do really quite finished illustrations in them. Some people's sketchbooks are literally like written notes and little scribbles, and some people use it mostly just for studying, so it's a lot of like drawings of people and buildings and whatever it is outside, and some people do a mixture of things. Some people do like thumbnails and like really rough stuff outside of their sketchbooks, and some people, you know, and like then keep their sketchbook for doing more, I don't know, like finished studies or whatever it may be. And I guess I use my sketchbook like for pretty much, I don't know, I guess everything. I don't often do very finished drawings in my sketchbook, I wouldn't say. Usually it's a place where I work through ideas. I will put thumbnails in my sketchbook sometimes. I will put, I don't know, like little doodles. But it's a place, I guess, where I experiment and work through an idea before I make it an actual thing. Or sometimes it doesn't become an actual thing, it's just, I don't know, like I'll start to work through an idea and it'll be like, no, actually this won't work, so it just stays whatever it is in the sketchbook, and that's the end of it. Yeah, I will do like some drawings and studies from life in my sketchbook. Count the amount of times I say sketchbook in this video. I pretty much take my sketchbook everywhere. If I'm going somewhere, I will take my sketchbook with me. I mean, not if I'm going somewhere like I'm just nipping to the shops and it's going to be like half an hour or whatever, but if I'm going anywhere like for a while or somewhere where I think I'll be waiting or whatever it is, I usually take my sketchbook with me. And sometimes, less so recently, but I go through phases, but especially in the summer when it's warm, because it's more pleasant to sit and draw things, I'll just like draw whatever is around sometimes. I also draw from photos that I take. When I'm out, I take again, sometimes more photos than others, but I try to take photos when I see things that I think are visually interesting, and sometimes I will draw those just to, I guess, study the whatever it is, because if I draw it, it kind of gets into my head a bit, and then when I'm drawing other things, it will be something that maybe will crop up and I can use in a drawing because it's already in my head, if that makes sense. And sometimes I will draw from the internet, like I'll search something on Pinterest, or I'll just do a Google search, you know, if I'm just looking for images of different things. I do that less, I would say, than taking photographs, because I just like, I don't know, I like drawing from my own sources, I guess, rather than what's on the internet. Also because I guess what's on the internet, a lot of the time they're like these perfect photos and stuff, and yeah, for whatever reason I like drawing from my own photos. Another thing I guess I use my sketchbook for is sometimes just like as a journal. Even though I have a separate place to write in, I sometimes will, because I have my sketchbook with me, or if it's like the nearest thing, I will just write, I don't know, I will vent in it, I will write whatever's on my mind, I will scribble or whatever it is, just to get something out. And it's not always writing. I mean, I guess that's where a sketchbook comes in, because sometimes I will draw, I don't know, like sad or angry faces or whatever it is, just to, I don't know, express an emotion, I guess. I mean, I don't like it's not like I share those things, but it gets it out of me, I guess. Another thing is a bit similar to like what I was talking about, working out ideas earlier. I figure out how to draw things. Like if I have an idea for a drawing, I've sketched something or whatever, but something just isn't looking right. There's a position of a hand, or there's a tree or a piece of nature or whatever it is, and if I don't know how to draw it, I will figure out in my sketchbook how to draw it. Like sometimes there will just be like a couple of pages filled with the same like hand position, what do you call it, shape. I'm sure I just said the word that I'm looking for, but yeah, I will just draw like that like several times over just to figure out how to actually draw it, because sometimes things, even though they seem as though they should be quite simple, they're deceivingly difficult. So I will try and do that. Most of the time, I would say maybe my most favourite thing is to just draw things out of my imagination, which I guess is like coming up with ideas and things, but not really. Not all the time, just like I will just draw figures or people, or mostly people, and I'm trying to get into drawing other things. Like I've gotten quite into drawing nature, like plants and stuff, more recently, but I still don't draw much in the way of like buildings, cars, and like man-made stuff, I guess. Just I don't know, I don't enjoy drawing it, I guess, as much or at all. that much. I don't know why. I just prefer drawing like plants and people, nature and people and stuff. And I mean, I try to like diversify what I draw quite a lot, because that's how you improve. And I feel like this sketchbook that I'm currently working in, I've been working in for months. I can't remember exactly when I started now, but it was definitely last year sometime, and I'm probably like halfway through it, and that's partly because I mean I've done a lot of stuff in sketchbooks for university, because those have mostly been the projects that I've been doing, so they've been in different sketchbooks. So this one's kind of gotten neglected a little bit, and I've only really done odd things in it while I've been waiting for things, or just when I have some time. But yeah, I guess I've been going through a bit of a slow, I don't know, a slump, an art slump, I don't know, or I don't want to say like art block. Like everything I come up with at the minute tends to be stories, and well, not just like stories, but characters. If I sit down and draw, I will draw a character and kind of come up with part of their story, and kind of that comes out of me more than anything now, which is good in one sense, but I find myself fighting it sometimes, because I don't know why I fight it. Maybe it's strange. I used to draw a lot of just really, I don't know, whatever my emotion was, and now I struggle to do that. And yeah, I think I touched on this in another video, but yeah, it is frustrating. So often when I sit down to draw, I don't really know what to draw. I mean, I can find some reference and kind of draw from photos, which is what I guess I've done more recently, but because when I sit down, I don't know, not a lot that always comes out. I've also kind of been drawing more weird little I don't know, I guess like plant type things, not actual plants, but just things kind of out of my imagination, like they're plants but not real plants. I don't really know how to put it. But yeah, that's something. I feel like maybe my sketchbook is reflecting in a way just that this weird period that I'm in with my art, and not 100%. I don't know. I feel like I'm in one of those phases of change. I mean, I believe that as artists and people, we're always changing. But I think sometimes you go through deeper periods of change. Again, personally, you know, kind of like generally and with art. And I feel like I'm going through one with art at the minute, and it's, I don't know, everything feels quite difficult, like awkward, and like uncomfortable, I guess. Which, you know, it is just kind of a thing, I guess, that you go through as an artist. But I guess that's another thing about sketchbooks. Because I feel like they reflect where you are at the time, like in a lot of ways, whether it be through what you're drawing or the materials that you're drawing with, or whatever it is. You go through different like phases with art of using different things and drawing different things, but also it kind of reflects where you are mentally and just where you are in your life. And yeah, I can look back at old sketchbooks and I remember kind of, even if not like specific events or specific things, I will remember a lot from it. Like where I was emotionally, I guess, what headspace I was in, kind of either when I was drawing that specific thing or just generally throughout the sketchbook, where I was throughout that period of time. And it's more difficult with sketchbooks that I guess have taken me a long amount of time to do, to fill, but like ones that I completed over a short period of time is a lot easier to tell where I was. And I think, yeah, my sketchbook at the minute definitely reflects, I guess. Well, I don't know. It reflects, I think, like artistically, I guess, where I am, in the sense of just being a bit all over the place. I guess just in the sense of headspace and just personally, you know, what I'm feeling at the minute, because I think I feel a bit all over the place in life in general. So I think, yeah, I mean, I think of all of my things, like my sketchbooks are valuable. I like to look back at the stuff that I did have done. Sometimes it's interesting because I can go back and look at old things that I've drawn a while ago, you know, in old sketchbooks, and get inspiration from that for what to do now, because sometimes I find that, I don't know, I guess I have those ideas I was talking about earlier that don't really get finished, or they're just things that you've just like scribbled down and not really thought about. Yeah, later on you can think, yeah, I can do something with this. Which is weird because I didn't really keep a sketchbook for a long time. Definitely not regularly, and definitely not in the same way that I do now. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching me scribble about in my sketchbook and listening to me rabbiting on. And as always, if you have any thoughts, if you keep a sketchbook, if you don't keep a sketchbook, what do you put in your sketchbook? How do you use your sketchbook? How long does it take you to fill a sketchbook? Talk to me about sketchbooks. yeah, and I will see you in the next video.